Hey, y'all.
Hola, welcome to 30 Minutes Down South. She's Allison.
And he's Carlos, and we are two top producing realtors.
With two extremely different Southern upbringings.
Join us each week as we explore the Lake Murray area with our special guests.
And welcome, Allison. Episode number 35.
35, Carlos. I didn't think we'd get here.
Yeah, you know what? It's cool. It's cool. We have, we're looking at, well, actually, this is our first episode with an intro.
So, I mean, I guess that's like officially official. We're stuck now. We have to keep doing it now that we have an intro.
Well, I don't know. You can always get fired if you don't behave.
Okay.
That's it? That's your response? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're better than that. You can give me a better response like, okay.
No, I am better than that. I'm not going to get fired.
Anyway, so what do we have for episode 35, Allison?
So we're going to recap everything that we've talked about in the last 35 weeks. Quick little synopsis of each one, some of our favorite guests, interesting things we've learned. I don't know.
Well,
keep me on track.
Yeah, one of the coolest things, like, you think about it, we started this podcast 9 months ago. So if you would have been pregnant, you would have given birth right now. So
thank God I wasn't.
So 9 months ago we started. We didn't have pretty much, a real idea of how far we're going to take this, or how much
it's going to go,
or how much we're going to like it, or how much work it's going to be. And I think that we are in a good position right now, in a good system. Like, I am enjoying this. I don't know, maybe our 2 or 3 listeners enjoy it too.
We have a few that enjoy it.
Yeah, but I think it's cool. We've learned a lot, and that's probably one of the important things.
You know who I think really has enjoyed it? Mm-hmm. Is our guest.
Yeah.
I think they've really enjoyed the opportunity to come on and talk about, either whether it be their businesses or the town or, what they do for a living. I think they've had different opportunities to talk about it and get the word out, and we've gotten great feedback from our guests.
Yeah, and you know what? It's always cool to listen to yourself, and I'm talking on our guest's behalf, One feedback that I had from our guests was like, listening to myself talking about that made me realize what stuff I want to say and what stuff I don't want to say. And you know what? I've been taking that too, from our guests, and like I learned. So how about this? We have a list of all the 34 guests. Mm-hmm. Actually, we haven't had 34 guests because we haven't bring a guest each episode.
Correct.
At the beginning, it was just the two of us, and then it got too boring.
We only had so much to talk about.
There's one episode called the boring episode. It was just the two of us. That was the first one. The first one we started just talking about real estate and getting to know it. So it's kind of a cool episode to look back at it and see how different we didn't have.
How we got here.
We didn't have microphones.
No, we did not. We didn't have headphones.
And you were complaining that I talk too much.
Well, some things never change.
But you don't complain anymore. Then we have, so I'm putting it out. I'm putting it on YouTube. That's where you have all the list of all the full episodes. And we have the second one. We talk about a perfect house, a market update. Oh, we talk about ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. Have you been using ChatGPT?
I have a little bit.
Do you want to tell the secret?
No.
Why not?
Because it's a secret.
I'm going to tell them.
Tell them.
Allison used ChatGPT for the intro.
Only for part of it, because you said I was too wordy.
Yeah, when we were preparing the intro, Allison came with a very, very, very long.
It was a very nice intro.
Oh, it was wonderfully written. I bet you used ChatGPT.
I did not.
Did I tell you the story that my son used ChatGPT to try to convince me why he will be allowed to download Snapchat?
He's a smart boy.
Oh, yeah. And it was very convincing until I was like, wait a second, this is not him. So I did what every single parent would do in that situation. I just ChatGPT him back on the reasons why I don't allow him to use Snapchat. I don't have Snapchat myself.
I don't either, no.
I mean, what's the point of sending a picture that gets deleted immediately?
Sounds a little dangerous to me.
Well, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that get in trouble for that.
Lots of people.
I haven't got in trouble for that. I tell my people to delete the pictures when I send.
But anyway, we digress.
All right, so number 3, we talk about salsa, reads, choosing where do you live based on your athletic lifestyle. What do you think about that episode? You remember that episode?
I remember it a little bit. It's it's been 9 months.
I know, it's been a while. Oh, one of our highest, then episode number 4, if you go to YouTube, that has 1,600 views. That was like off the charts.
Yeah, it's because we were talking about the Murdoch murders.
And everybody was just thirsty about new information. They thought that we were probably bringing something new.
Some insider information.
Actually, we did bring something that not many people touch, and was the real estate part of that murder.
Yeah.
You had the task to reach out to the listing agent, and he never returned your call.
No response, nope.
I think that he never thought you were serious.
I was serious.
No, you were not.
He probably has, what do you call it? Where you silence people. What's the word I'm looking for?
A pre-qualification letter?
No.
That's when people always go away. It's like, oh, yeah, I want to see this $1 million house. Okay, show me the money.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll open the door for you. And then ghosting. Mm-hmm. You know, we have to have an episode talk about ghosting.
Ghost or ghosting?
Ghosting on the phone, when people don't answer your text phone, or I try to answer every single one that I have. If I ghost you, it wasn't on purpose. If I don't want to talk to you, I'll just text you and say, hey, this is the end of the conversation. But ghosting, I think, it's a new thing. I mean, if you look at my phone, I can pull you in the last 3 weeks. I can have probably 10 people that have let me hanging with a
Seriously?
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that.
And I know that it's not people that do it on purpose. I think that it's just so much stuff going on phones. Like there's getting messages and getting notifications and getting likes and getting all this stuff. It's hard to
focus.
Let me focus on the next episode. I see what you did. Mm-hmm. I see what you did.
Yep.
So our next episode was number 5, and we talked.
The bucket list.
Yeah, we talked about our bucket list on that one, and I think
I checked off one of mine.
That was our first guest. That was the very first time that we had a guest, and it came all the way from Japan.
That's right.
Yeah, you remember her?
I do.
Ayako, that's her name.
Because you met her at R4, which is coming up in February.
Yeah,
so.
we met the whole Japanese
Remax team
in there, and she agreed to come into the podcast. I don't know why. Hey, I have a podcast. You'll be the 4th episode, the 5th episode, something like that. It's with this girl over there that we don't know what we're talking about. That
was really interesting to hear about, the interest rates or lack thereof in Japan and how they do things. So that was a good one.
Didn't we say that we wanted to buy real estate in Japan after listening? I did, right? Mm-hmm. I gotta write down. If you don't write things down, they'll never happen.
That's why I have in my notes a checklist.
Yeah. And now that we're coming into the New Year's and the year's end, a lot of people talk about, what's the name of it? Resolutions, right?
Yes, New Year's resolutions.
And we were having yesterday
business planning meeting, and one of the things that was said, and I completely agree with that, is simplify things. One of the charts that I was very intrigued was a story that was made about people, the amount of goals that you set.
Yes,
that was eye-opening.
Yeah. So to explain what we saw was there was a study that was done. And let's just believe that it's a real study made with real people and real things, but it makes sense, like people will have 1 or 2 goals, people will have 4 to 8 goals, and people will have more than 10 goals. They write it down in a year and then review after a year goes by to see how many of those goals were accomplished. Well, the people that grow 1 or 2 usually fulfill both goals. The 1, 4, and 6 accomplish half.
If that. I was thinking like 40%.
Of the goals. And the people that had more than 10 goals accomplished none of them.
Yes.
I wonder what goals were that didn't accomplish nothing. I mean, come on, man. You have to accomplish at least one. That's what I was like.
Well, I think
that's kind of exaggerating. I mean, yeah, but you have 10 goals. I mean, one's got to stick, right?
Maybe. But to me, it's, what did they say? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So if you break things into smaller chunks, but you can get so overwhelmed with many things that you don't accomplish anything.
Well, but going back to your example, I mean, you still have to get the first bite, Maybe you don't accomplish the other 9, but come on, at least one, Put it easy, New Year resolution, I will hit the gym. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be working out every day.
Yeah,
but
you didn't say how many times.
come on, at least once. I mean, you got to do that, right?
The next episode.
Yeah, but before that, what do you think will be your number one goal for next year? And I'm going to put you on the spot because I know that you didn't prepare for that, but I want to hear it.
Consistency.
I want $1 million. How about 1 million views in our podcast? That'd be neat.
There you go.
Take down Joe Rogan.
Take down Joe Rogan. Good luck with that.
Joe Rogan, by the way, is one of my favorite podcasters.
I haven't listened to him.
You have to listen to it. I think that he's great. He's got a great point of view, and his guests are amazing. I mean, he had Elon Musk the other day. The conversation was so cool. It just made you feel that you were sitting down there in that table. This is how we want to make you feel. This is how not you, Allison, but the people listening.
The people
to
listening,
us.
yes.
We want to make them feel that they're sitting in a table with us, and I think that the most important about the guests that we bring is the information that they give.
Well, obviously, that's why we bring them, because they know things that we don't. They can answer questions that we have, that listeners have, that clients have. And I've really enjoyed learning.
And we always learn something new from every guest. Like, I personally do. I don't think that we have brought a single guest that I don't leave this show without, oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
now I know.
I agree. I can't tell you how many times David and I have been having a conversation, and I've said to him, well, if you listen to our podcast, you would know.
We have that in the office all the time. You know, people will come with questions like, hello, we talk about that in the podcast.
Yeah,
you know, we also have, you know.
We were talking about the White Rock boxing the other day, and he was like, I didn't know that. I said, well, had you listened to that podcast, you would have known.
Well, for example, on episode number 6, it's called the food episode. We talk with Places to Eat Around Chapin, and we talk with Greg from the Timberlake Country Club. At that time, there was we didn't know what was going on with the restaurant. He tell us what was being done to solve the problem with the restaurant, and I mean,
how's that going?
It's going pretty good. Have you been there?
I have not.
Allison.
I mean, I've been out to the country club for golf, but I hadn't eaten in the restaurant.
Oh, we had the golf episode. The golf episode was well, it wasn't. Yeah. Well, let me. That was episode 10. It was a Chapin Women's Club episode, but we did it from the golf course, and then we had a golf episode.
Yes, with Chase Butler.
With Chase Butler, which was very, very interesting. But we're getting ahead. We're trying to do recap of all the episodes, just short and concise. So if you're listening to us for the first time, you can have an idea of what has been done for the last 9 months, you know? Not giving birth, I can tell you that. All right, so we go from Greg, we went to Billy Chastain. Super, super, super important
Love
episode.
talking to Billy. He is such a wealth of knowledge on all things Lake Murray, and he's really good about shooting down all the rumors that people start.
Yeah, and shuts down the rumors. Explain. I mean, like that was one of the episodes when I think that I was like, you know what? This is cool. This is really, I love to learn.
Yeah.
You know, I love to learn. Knowledge is something that you can never lose unless, you know, you get old and forget and your memory. But you learn how to do something. You learn about something. It's yours, you know? The knowledge is yours. It cannot be taken away. You know, you cannot get evicted because of knowledge. Nobody can steal that from you. You know, that's why it's so precious. And that one was probably one of the best episodes learning-wise, in my opinion.
Especially for what we do. Yeah, absolutely. And for all the people that live on and around Lake Murray.
What was your best take on that episode?
There's so many. And then we had him in the office, too, for like 3 hours conversations because we had so many questions. But I think I just really enjoy hearing his stories of what he has to deal with people not following the rules on the lake. I would hate to have his job.
You will hate to have his job?
Yes. Having to deal with people just irate because they can't do what they want to do.
That sounds like a realtor.
This is true. What am I thinking? I
don't know. You know, like, I wouldn't hate it. it's you have to have that two-way personality that can be strict about rules and at the same time, be customer service oriented.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's not like an engineer say, I can't do that. That cannot be done by.
Yeah.
You still have...
he has to work with the public.
You still have to explain why. And some people, you have to explain it twice or three times.
And he's done a great job of that. And I have to say, I had a situation with a house under contract about 2 months ago where we found out after the house was under contract that the seller thought they had a permit for the riprap that they had put in. And we're talking like $40,000 worth of riprap.
And they didn't have it?
And they didn't have it.
Ouch.
I was representing the buyer, was able to pick up the phone, call Billy, and immediately he was able to help us work out the situation. And it was just great to have, somebody like that on our side who's willing to make things work for both parties.
Yeah. And if anything, he's fair. If he cannot make it happen, he'll be the first one to tell you, hey, you cannot make it happen. But at least, he'll give you options. Hey,
exactly.
We can work on this. He's a person, and that has a lot of value in a position like him.
Absolutely.
So after that episode, we went to episode number 8, and we called that the boring episode.
The boring episode, so we're just going to skip that.
Actually, Gina liked that one. Gina, our broker in charge, is like, why did you call that episode the boring episode? It's like, well, we were kind of rushed. We were very busy at that point. We didn't really come up with a guest. We really come up with a topic, and, it was just Allison talking. That makes it boring.
So this next one, the theater episode.
Yeah, with Jim DeFelice.
Yes, yep. And I have to give a shout out to you because you just produced a video for the Chapin Theater for their new play that's coming out this weekend, right?
Yeah, I've done that since I moved down here. I've produced probably 20 videos for them, and let me tell you, I love it.
Well, the one you did that I saw this week looks great.
You know what the cool thing about that video was, and it's on the YouTube. You can watch it in the YouTube page too. I completely shot it and edited with nothing but my iPhone.
I was wondering that when I was watching it, how you did it.
It was. Back in the day, you had to shoot something, then you have lights, you have to have microphones, then you bring it, you have to obviously have a camera, you have to have editing computer, and a good editing computer was very, very expensive, because otherwise it was too slow and it was a pain in the butt to do. And it still was slow. You have to render everything down. I mean, it was a mess. Like, this one is so easy, and it's all in my phone. You can edit those videos all in my phone. I mean, that this generation doesn't know.
Well, you shouldn't tell people that because it looked great, and they if they watched it, they'd think you were professional.
What? Excuse me? It was professional. I didn't get paid for that, but
y'all go see the play this weekend. It looks really good. It's a spoof of It's a Wonderful Life, right?
Correct. Yeah. And I have a homework. I have to watch that movie.
Have you done it?
No, yet.
Okay.
It's a homework to be done. Have you?
No.
Maybe we can bring it to the office and watch it together. Get some popcorn.
Have a movie watching episode.
Well, it's supposed to be a classic, and you're supposed to be a classical person.
I know.
Disney and Christmas and all this.
All the things.
Happy things and.
No.
No? All right, you should watch it. Then we had the Chapin Women's Club episode that was in Timberlake. We played golf. Also learn about that
organization. Those ladies are too funny and are doing a great service for our area.
On episode 11, we had actually.
It was Charlie Wessinger.
That was our first guest that came to our office.
Yes.
Okay. She was Charlie Wessinger. We talk about everything Lexington County. That episode broke our names because it wasn't 30 minutes, it was a full hour, but I can tell you the amount of information that we got from there.
Such good information, and I've been helping a developer with finding lake property. And I have used so much of what I learned from her in that one episode.
Yep.
It's unreal. So it goes back to we're always learning.
I went back and watched it again not too long ago because I had a question, and I didn't remember what exactly was told, but I knew that that it was in there, and it worked out. So hey. We're kind of an encyclopedia now.
Exactly.
I can recommend this, and again, it's not us; it's the guests that we're having. I mean, so far, knock on wood, every single guest that we had has been awesome. Yes. Charlie, we're probably gonna have her again because even though we talked for over an hour, there were so many things, so much more information that. We could, and that's information that is upgoing all the time.
Changing.
Always changing. Ordinances, laws, and whatnot. Lexington County has. I heard that they're on the boat right now to really regulate Airbnbs.
I've heard that too. Mm-hmm. We might have to have her in there to discuss that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because I understand personally, and let's just dive deep on that.
Let's not.
Personally,
we don't have time.
Well, personally, I want to put my opinion in there because
let's have a whole episode on that because I think it's super important.
Okay. I'm just telling you that I'm disagreeing with a lot of that stuff just because it's more government in your private property anyway. Crooked Creek episode. Yeah, that was episode 12. We learned about all the programs that we had. That was 6 months ago, so that put us at the end of the spring, right?
Yeah, and we talked about all the summer programs, but they have great programs going all year long. And my middle daughter is in their theater program right now, and they're doing a play, Elf Jr., at Spring Hill High School next weekend.
Well, I learned that the Art League is supposed to be huge.
Yeah,
and
I've heard it's really good.
Alcun mentioned that.
He did.
And that episode, was at the beginning of the spring this year. My son is playing rec basketball at Crooked Creek this year. And our softball team finished second place. We lost a championship game, but it's the first time we played the championship game. And so we finished second.
Good job.
In the softball league.
We're representing Crooked Creek well.
Yeah, we're going for the first place on next spring. If you play softball, if you used to play baseball, contact me and I'll hook you up with a team. We're called the Slap Not Magoos. Don't ask me. You should Google Slap Not Magoos. It's actually cool. Episode 13, we talk with one of my favorite persons in the world, Nikki Metz. How do you pronounce her last name? Metz?
Yes.
Yeah, she's the owner. Toad. She's the owner of the Tipsy Toad. That episode was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I still haven't tried the toad balls.
Allison.
I know.
You need to try the toad balls.
I do.
What's going on? You got to start doing all the stuff. You know what? It's good that we're doing this recap because there's a couple of open items out there, including your recital. You said it on camera. You said it here. You were going to recite your recital when you were Miss. You were what? Miss Charleston?
College Charleston.
Yeah, and you had a play, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're not gonna record the next episode until you bring it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in a strike.
All
I want to hear that.
I'm also supposed to be boxing, so
you are supposed to be boxing.
Add that to the list as well.
And you're gonna watch. I remember one of the first episodes you were supposed to watch The Matrix. You haven't watched The Matrix, and you have to watch. You know what? We should put just one day apart, just to fulfill.
One full day of fulfilling all the things we said we were going to do
that we haven't done yet.
See, consistency. Not consistent with any of it.
Yeah, but again, we're going back to
putting. Been too busy working.
I know, putting 10 goals in
year.
there. Then after the tour, we had one of the best episodes because it's your favorite baseball. Yeah. Bill Shanahan,
the Blowfish.
We talk about Blowfish, and I have a couple updates with that conversation. But it's not official yet, so I can say it yet. But
we'll have to revisit that later then.
Blowfish might be coming to Chapin again.
Oh, okay.
I know you like that. Then we talk with Andrea Lange about the power in Camp Chemo. This episode was special.
It was.
And you know why? Because when we spoke with Andrea, they did not have a place where to put Camp Chemo. 1 week later, when the episode come out, and I don't want to. Nobody knows if somebody listened to this, or somebody mentioned to this, or somebody that listened to this mentioned to somebody that knew somebody that
Don't
knew
know
somebody.
how it came about.
But and I never thought it was possible, because otherwise I would have put it together. But the Timberlake Country Club agreed to host Camp Chemo this year.
That was amazing.
And I was there, and it was so great to see, all the kids jumping on the lake and doing all the stuff that they did. I mean, the volunteers were amazing. The volunteers were just like a well-oiled machine. Do this, tan, food. Her husband, Andrea's husband, Bobby Lange, incredible cooking, logistics. Next year, Allison, you should be there.
I will be there next year.
I'll
Somebody forgot to tell me until the day of.
Yeah, I know. It was my fault. Hey, guess where I am? What? Camp Chemo here in Timberlake Country Club. Well, obviously, thank you very much for the people of Timberlake Country Club for making that happen. Again, and we're not saying that that idea floated, but it's a power of attraction.
Yes.
It's what I said. You listen to stuff, you listen to yourself, you put it on your foreground, you put it on your to-do list, and things might happen, but there you have a better chance to that happening if you do it
Exactly.
like that,
I agree.
Just like when you said you were going to sell $10 million in real estate, and look at you, top producer, baby. Huh? Great year, by the way.
Thanks.
So then after that, we spoke with
Mary Higginbotham of Good Works.
Works.
Yeah, this was a great episode because the following week, Remax was able to volunteer for their Good Works Blitz.
I missed that one, so you can blame me.
You did. I did not, and I learned how to scrape popcorn ceilings. I showed up expecting to clean out a refrigerator or roll a paintbrush. No. Molly, Robin, and I think Shelby might have been there, scraping the popcorn ceilings. So we definitely put in a day's worth of work. And Good Works, though, I mean, they're continually doing things throughout the year for our community. Right now, if anybody wants to get involved, they are adopting families for Christmas. So if anybody's interested, let me know, and I'll get you in touch with Mary Higginbotham.
Was that the first time you scraped popcorn ceiling?
That was the first time and the last time.
Why? What's the most difficult
Gosh,
part?
it was not hard. It was just nasty.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because I was covered in it. I mean, you have to look up, and there's no easy way to do it.
All right. Moving on.
The critter episode.
So if you can choose between being a critter reader or a popcorn sealer scrapper.
Popcorn ceilings all day long. I don't do critters.
So, Alice, you don't want to. You don't want to be a lake sheriff. You don't want to scrape popcorn ceilings. You don't want to get rid of critters. Oh, you're such a princess.
Such a princess.
Critter reader was very fun.
It was.
I had a lot of fun in that episode.
I enjoyed his stories and just learning the background of the business, how he, really started himself. And now I see him around town. And I'm like, hey, it's Critter Ritter.
That was 16. Number 18, we have the Reconciliation Ministries episode.
Saw them around town the other day, too.
They just had their gala. They keep growing little by little. But they're growing, like I said, they're like they said, they are more focused on quantity than in quality.
Quality rather than quantity.
Yeah, they rehab people with serious addiction problems, and that's an episode. If you know somebody that is going through that, I recommend them to contact them. Listen to that episode.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one. I believe that they're doing it the right way. I said it on that episode, and I keep saying it, over and over. Addiction is not a problem that you solve in 30 days, especially the level of the people that they're treating is not something that you solve with a pill.
It's a lifetime.
It's a lifetime commitment, and sometimes, when these guys are so deep in it, they don't see a light of the tunnel, and these guys are definitely a ray of light at the end of that tunnel. Then we shifted to the golf episode.
The golf episode, we did.
We learned a lot about that one, and we have the Charleston
episode, when we talked to the Charleston home inspector, whom you have not taken me on a home inspection with him yet.
Well, he hasn't.
So speaking of
David.
People who haven't followed through on commitments.
David was supposed to, He has.
Blame it on David.
I 100%. I'm gonna throw him under the bus because you know what? Many times I told her, you gotta tell me when is your next inspection, and what he does is he sends me pictures while he's there. Like, man, you're 2 hours away. I can't really go right now. You know, you gotta give me at least a week in advance. Anyway, I know you're not going, but at least I'm gonna put it on your end. So one of the things that I learned about that episode is that Allison teach me how to pronounce Charleston. Yeah, if anything, after this said and done, and 5, 15, 20 years
we're working
after,
on your southern accent. Not your southernmost.
my southern accent is more southerner than yours. Mm-hmm. Then we have one of my very, very, very good friends, Chris Stone.
Talking about the floodplain.
Yeah, Lexington Management. We were talking about floodplain. That was also very, very interesting and how do you say learnful episode when you learn a lot.
Educational.
Educational. Yeah, I was trying to complicate the words.
Yes, you are.
Educational. Then we had Annie Old with the fitness episode.
With Anytime Fitness.
Anytime. Well, she's not at Anytime anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's moving into some other projects that she has, and she couldn't find the time for Anytime, so she's not there anymore. But I think that she's doing. I don't know exactly what she's doing.
Might need to find out.
She's still running. She's still running marathons, and man, that woman is.
She's a beast.
Have you met him in person?
No.
Dude, she's tiny. She's tiny, like skinny, but man, she can run hard and nonstop. I mean, it's a lot of energy on that package. Let's put it that way. Then we went to
back to school.
Back to school.
Yeah, with Rebecca Hines, and we need to have her back on maybe after the first of the year to kind of give us an update on what's going on in the school system.
Yeah, I remember there was something that we left open in that episode.
Yeah, they were doing a study to figure out if rezoning was going to be needed, which I feel sure it is. So we definitely need an update on that.
Correct. It was all about rezoning and how was that going to affect. I mean, it's going to happen. The rezoning is going to happen. We just need to know where exactly the rezoning is going to be. Because the last thing you want to do is to buy a house here for this particular school, and then next year you don't have that school anymore. That's why if you're buying a house, you should contact an experienced realtor like me.
Or me.
Or Allison. Allison is actually a great realtor. I told you, if I wasn't a realtor, I would love to hire you.
Well, thanks.
But I'm a realtor, so, you're out of luck. Then we talk. This is probably the funniest one. Yeah, but you got to watch that episode on YouTube.
The mobile petting zoo.
The podcast doesn't do much justice.
It was wasn't it the baby cow?
That was a baby. No, that was a mini cow. Yeah, it was a mini cow, not the baby cow. Baby cow is different than mini cow.
Yes. Okay.
Mini cow because it doesn't grow more than that.
Right.
And it's a tiny dwarf cow, mini cow. And
that's a good one to watch, for sure.
And the goat. Then we have the litter episode. That was an event. It actually was more than just event. We spoke about the problem of littering and it's a problem, and what are people doing to prevent that and to solve that.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. Then we talk about the life cycle episode. We didn't have a guest in there, and we just talk about
real estate, the market.
Yeah. That was good. I think that was good. Anyway.
Piney Woods PTO.
With your PTO gang
with my PTO gang.
East Side.
Yeah, so we talked about the fundraiser they were having, which ended up, they blew it out of the water. They raised
surprise.
So much more money than their goal, and they've already started implementing the changes that they had planned on making with the money raised.
Which is everybody coming in with a Ferrari? No. Man, I was shocked about, and again, it's probably other PTOs with a ton more money, but the amount of money that they have raised, it was just insane.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and part of it, of course,
a lot of hard work by volunteers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Fundraising is not easy. Fundraising is not. I'm not done for that. No, I'm serious. I hate asking people for money.
I do too. I'm like, here, just let me give my money. I'm not going.
You know what? I'm one of the parents that will just buy all the raffle tickets, rather than just go out there.
That's us too.
And selling them, But did you know that that's what most politicians do all the time? Like if you go to Congress, they will be fundraising a lot.
Well, it takes a lot of money to win an
But
election.
that's not right.
I agree.
They shouldn't be fundraising. They should be doing other more important stuff, And again, corporations shouldn't be able to put
different episode.
Different podcasts.
Yes.
That's one thing about us, We're trying to keep it political free, and even
and trying to keep you on track.
Cut my cursing.
Yes.
I curse in episode number 1. I cut in episode number 2, and then I trick you to episode.
You've been pretty good so far. I'll give you that.
Then we have the Happy Fork episode. Great conversation with Ron Pereira about the restaurant business.
Yes, and I see that the new one is almost ready for opening. Smokehouse.
Oh yeah, I went to the one in Lexington for the first time. I actually got to see him there.
Oh really?
Yeah, so he got to meet my family, and I've never been inside that restaurant.
I haven't either.
Yeah, we finished a baseball tournament, and we ended up there, and it was a Friday night, and he was on the floor just making sure everything was right. I mean, you can tell that he's just a hard-working that guy. I mean, if you're in the restaurant business, there's no room for slacks.
No.
He will literally eat you. The restaurant business will eat you if you're a slacker. Then we talked to the Putnams. We talked about the Putnams Harbor Marina episode.
Yes.
Should be open by now.
It is. It's open. I have a client who actually, he bought his house, put it under contract like 3 months ago. It was a delayed closing. So when we go to do the final walkthrough a couple weeks ago, guess what?
What?
There's no water. He couldn't get his boat on the lift because the lake's down.
Uh,
So the guys at Putnam's Harbor were super nice. They're letting him do a month-to-month lease until the water gets up and he can get his boat on his lift.
Yeah. Little detail.
Yep.
Brandon Crutchfield. Then we have episode number 30. That was the solar panel with Justin. Very nice discussion about, is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah.
Is it cheap?
I mean, that's definitely a good one to listen to if you've wondered about the pros and cons of solar panels.
Yeah, the thing I like the most about that episode is it gives the opportunity to people to listen as salesman without having to be
on the spot to purchase.
On the spot, yeah. And sometimes salesmen can be pushy, you know? I don't think that he's pushy, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then we talk about boxing with Sean Fink. I love that. Talk about CMS roofing.
Yes.
With
that
Mike
was a good
Korsha.
one. I didn't realize how big that company was and how much they did. So.
Oh, yeah. They're huge. They're huge. And my take on that episode?
You're all about the solar panels.
Not me. Him.
Solar roofing tiles, I guess
tiles,
is what you call them.
Solar tiles. And for him to be to believe that that's going to happen not too long ago.
To see what happens.
That was shocking to me.
Yeah.
That was shocking to me. I thought that we were way farther than that. I mean, the Cybertruck is about to come up too. Do you like that? Have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen the Cybertruck?
No.
Do you know what Google is?
Yes. I will Google it.
Use it.
Okay. This was a fun one.
Yeah, the last two episodes were one was a Christmas tree episode.
Yep.
With Glenn Miller.
Yes. I actually sent someone to him. They had posted on Facebook, like, where can I get a live tree? The Friday after Thanksgiving. So I messaged him and told him to go see him and check out his trees, and actually saw he posted, I think yesterday, that they're going to stay open until 8:30 every night for people who are working to come get their trees until they're sold out.
Well, we got one. We got our tree from him. We went and bought it. Did you get your
picture taken with Santa?
No, because it was raining.
Oh.
But we will go back just for the pictures. But the tree is just beautiful, and that smell, man, you can't really get find something different with that. That's a very particular Christmas smell in it. And the last episode was episode 34 with the mayor of Chapin, Alcon. And that's the last one. I mean, like, so much information.
So
he didn't hold
He
back.
didn't, and I ran into him the next week, and he's like, "I'm ready to come back. I want to talk to you. I've got more things to say. Some things I probably shouldn't have said, but."
You know what, Allison? I think that we can bring him back once a month and have like a separate, not under 30 minutes down south, but maybe his own show and say, yeah, seriously, you know,
what's happening in Chapin,
and have, like I said, I mean. Al and friends.
Al and friends.
No, he's. I mean it. You know, like information, and this is straight from the source. You know, I mean, a lot of people know what's going on in Chapin, or think they know what's going on in Chapin, and it's surrounded by whatever happened in social media, and it's not. It really isn't. You know, like what better to have the source in there and telling you how it is, you know, and you might like it, you might not, you might agree, you might disagree, but at the end of the day, it's going to be fact-based. It's not going to be rumor-based. It's not going to be gossip-based, you know, and that's important. Very
important. So, well, I think we've had some great episodes so far, some really good guests, and
we're running out of time.
We're over time. But I'm looking forward to what we have coming up.
Well, that was our first 35 episodes, our 34. This is 35. We're probably going to have another one in episode number 70.
70, okay.
Let's put that as a goal.
If you can put up with me that long.
I'm getting used to it. Yeah, it took me a while. But here we are.
Well, thanks for listening.
I'm probably stuck because we recorded that intro. You know, I don't want to ditch it. I want to use that intro for a little bit. Anyway, thank you for listening. Hopefully you can find something you like in those 34 episodes. And if you don't,
message us. Tell us what you would like to hear.
And if you're a business owner and you want to be highlighted, we only charge $50,000 per episode. Bye.
Bye.